Hello, everyone. Hello, João. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Emmanuel, and I will be your host this evening. And as classic, we have João in Lisbon. How is everything, João?
Ivanwell, everything is great here. Let me just give you a brief context. So Ivanwell has been almost everything in the ecosystem and now has reached the peak of hosting a hangout. Please give a round of applause to the first hangout of Ivanwell, guys. Come on. Come on. So all is great here in Lisbon. We have a couple of news from last month in the ecosystem. And to brief us, please welcome Startup Portugal's senior content and social media manager, José Maria Archer. Come on, Zé. And applaud the man.
Thank you, João. Quite a mouthful. My title, yeah. So let me just put you up to date, up to speed with the ecosystem briefing, everything that has been happening and is going to happen. And first of all, let me welcome you all over there in Porto, here in Lisbon, and also online, of course. Great to have you here. And tonight's hangout is all about, well, I don't know if you heard about it, SIM Conference. So SIM Conference will be happening in Porto, May the 14th and the 15th, at the beautiful venue Alfândega do Porto, and we'll be bringing founders, investors, ecosystem leaders, and together for 2 days of meaningful connections. So it's all about connecting, real conversations happening in real time. A lot of great speakers have already confirmed, including Yuri Levine, founder of Waze, so we're very happy for that, and many more are yet to come. And as such, we have a quick reminder. So SIM ticket prices go up on May the 1st, and you can buy them at simconf.com, simconf.com, or you can just scan the QR code. This is the best price you'll get because it's only going up. One last note about SIM, we are also hosting a different series of side events. We and a lot of partners. And if you want to check them out, go to Innovation Scene PT. That's our partner for the side events. Check them out. Now, also, quick note for this Hangout community. We have a new flash for you. We've already seen them outside in Porto. I hope you've seen them as well. We have now a dedicated space on Meetball, so you can keep the conversations going after the event. So you can connect with people you met tonight and keep helping one another, keep connecting. So you can access that space through this QR code or through the Meetball app. Well, you will hear a bit from Stuart Cern in a bit, so he'll explain everything about Meetball. Before we move forward, let me also highlight something coming up later during the network session. We have gaming demo stations in both cities. So in Porto, you'll find Mirai 167 by Orange Nap Studio, and here in Lisboa, you'll have Buried Within Clay by Barking Beagle Studios. Please take a moment to check them out in our networking session. Okay, one last thing, and we'll get started. Our next hangout is already set for May the 27th in Lisboa, in Porto, and online as usual. And the theme will be, what about youth entrepreneurship? So more details will be coming out soon, but save the date. Thank you. Emmanuel, over to you.
Thank you, José Maria. Now that we are all catched up, let's hear something different. And for that, I will call João Afonso to present us with Matching Founders.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Hi, everyone here in Porto. Hi, everyone in Lisbon and watching us online. My name is João Afonso. I'm currently head of business development for the culture and creative industries at Upitech. I'm also a startup founder. I've been in the ecosystem for the past 16 years. I've actually also worked at Startup Portugal at some point. And throughout these last 16 years, I've noticed a need in almost every founder, or a common need in many startups that were starting. The difficulty to find a co-founder when you're starting a team. So I've decided to create, with the help of Ubitech and the help of Convocatória Aberta, which is a support program from the municipality of Porto, from Porto Digital. I created a platform called Matching Founders. Basically, it's an online platform, but it works like a centralized point for founders to match. You can match a founder with an idea and a co-founder with a founder. We help you on that process. You can look for new startup ideas online, but it's this is a common need in everywhere in the world. There's platforms that have been created or attempts to create something like this many times. For example, Y Combinator, basically the best accelerator in the world, have their own area in their website to match founders with co-founders. But I think what the difference between our platform and what will make it or break it is not the online platform, is the in-person meeting events that will be happening in cities around the world. We're starting in Porto. We already announced San Francisco starting in May. We're announcing next week Madrid. We're getting ready to announce London, Berlin, Zagreb, Lisbon, and Barcelona as well. So the idea is that the platform is the centralized point, but where the connection happens is in person in these matching events that will happen monthly in cities around the world. I mean, for me, starting a company is closer to getting married than it is to start a working relationship. If you don't, and I hope you haven't married with someone who you just met online, I think what will make it or break it again is the relationships you create in person and the work you do afterwards. So to finish up, go to matchingfounders.cc if you are a talent co-founder who wants to join a startup. Go to Matching Founders if you're a founder with an idea looking for talent. And if you are someone or you know someone in a city around the world that would like to join and start a community there, get in touch, and I'll hope to see you in one of our future events. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, João. Now, for the second pitch of this evening, please welcome here in Lisbon, Stuart Cern, co-founder of Meatball. Come on, Stuart.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm the founder of Meatball. They already introduced it, so they did a great job. So I'm going to jump straight to how can you use Meatball to go to conference and get exactly what you're going there for. I'm going to start by sharing my journey as a founder. I've been building startups for more than 20 years. Quite a few became multi-million-dollar companies with major financial institutions as investors. I've done lots of things, ups and downs. I hit a wall, and I went on a journey of finding a different way to build teams and projects that are really mission-driven. And when I thought I was going to write a book, I decided instead to build a company to test these ideas. And that's how Meatball was born. I went to Web Summit, a conference like SIM, and I said, can someone help me build this thing? I need some help. And I was surrounded by hundreds of people that I didn't know, not a single one of them. And we built a prototype in 24 hours. We kept the same framework. It's an open startup. Anyone can join this project. And what matters is that from this messy beginning, a core team emerges. And from this core team, eventually I find my co-founders. And some of the core team members might become my co-founders when we really hit the rocks. And somebody needs to be there with me. That's one of the many things that makes Meatball special. The app we built is super simple. You post what you are looking for. There is no public comments. There is no likes. It's just a platform for people who can help you to say, hey, I can help you, or hey, I have the same problem, let's connect. It's a way to find each other. And there's some magic in this. We are launching officially in June as the official networking app for Rock in Rio, one of the biggest music festivals in the world. We've done more than 100 tests over the last few months. The feedback is consistent. Every week I meet some strangers at events who tell me I used it during Web Summit. I experienced the magic that happens when I put what I need out there. There's always someone around. There's probably someone in this room that can help you with what you came for tonight. So my main point of the presentation is actually Sim Conference. Meatball, when it was born, I had a clear idea what the week was going to be, what success meant for me. So I planned it in my head. I visualized it. And then when I was at the event, I knew what to look for. The second thing I did, I was very annoying. I didn't mind blasting everyone. This time I'm going to Sim Conference, and I have just one mission. I need to fundraise for Meatball. I need to make sure every possible investor that might be the right investor for us needs to know that we are fundraising. And I will be very annoying again. And I know it's very normal to feel awkward now, because I am very embarrassed when I pick up my phone and I make a selfie. telling the world, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I think one of my kids is going to think I have 200 followers. Like, I hate it, but it works. And so I'm on a mission to normalize it. Just dare to ask for help because there's always someone that will show up. That's my single biggest advice. No, meditate on what you need, put it out there, and let the magic come to you. 70% of people don't make a single connection. Meatball helps you by giving you a platform where you can post what you need and find people who can help. 80% of people that use Meatball say they met someone that they didn't expect they would meet. So we didn't invent it. The energy is already in the air. People love to help each other. We're just building a platform that harnesses the energy, unless the people that are open to collaboration to find each other. And that's why we say this platform, it's not for everyone. It's for the people on a mission. It's the people that know exactly what they are looking for so they can put it out there and find someone that cares. So my invitation for tonight is scan the code, think about how could someone in this room help you? Like what is the one thing in this room that you wish people knew about you? Because there might be someone. Or do it tomorrow, because the space is not just for the event. This is the new space for Startup Portugal. It keeps the community alive 365 days per year. It's here for you. And it will be live during SIM conference. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you. Now that you have all the ingredients for a successful recipe, how to build a company, build a community, we have to introduce our next guest, Ricardo Bencantel, from the CTO of Mobify. Ricardo, welcome.
Hello. So we are Mobify. We are designing and delivering premium zero-emission hydrofoil boats for the fast ferry market. So this is our prototype. This is a real footage in Lake Geneva, not a 3D. And as you can see, the boat is flying above the water. What that allows is for the boat to consume much less energy. So this started in racing. So our experience in high-performance racing foiling is being developed for this fast ferry market. This is some footage from tests that we have been doing also in Porto in 2024, and this boat has been going through tests since 2022 with more than 500 flights. One of the key points of this technology that we are developing are the retractable foils, which make maintenance much easier and make the boat usable even in places where the water draft is very, very low. We are developing proprietary software for this boat, for maintenance, for the flight controls, and also for the integration with the electrical powertrain, where we use batteries and we can also use hydrogen. And we can charge the boat for normal use in less than 40 minutes. One of the key ingredients of this boat, as I said, is that it flies. So when it flies, it uses 85% less energy than a normal boat, and it's much more comfortable because it's slicing the waves, it's not going against the waves. We have raised 10 million last year, and we are using this investment to produce our industrial boats, the Mobify S and the Mobify M. The S is now being built in Lisbon, and it will allow the transportation of 12 to 20 people. And the M is being designed for about 100 people. And we are also have the concept of a larger boat for 300 people. And so we are in this process of developing bigger boats to allow operators to transport more and more people using electrical boats. We have been discussing several routes around the world. These are some routes here in Portugal. This one is here in Porto from Leixões to Ribeira, and this boat would allow us to transport people in 20 minutes, very comfortable, even with waves. This is not possible with the normal ferry boats of the smaller kind that exist here in Porto. We'll also be able to transport people from Lisbon to Montijo very quickly without spending any fuel. Sorry, and very comfortably, even when there are waves around the area. Sorry. So this is the boat flying. The boat flies and is being used by the pilot like any normal boat. The pilot only needs to accelerate the boat. The autopilot takes care of all the flight controls, and then the driver drives it with a joystick, as if it was an airplane, and the boat banks and does all the turning automatically. One of the advantages of this boat, like I was saying, it makes much less waves. And so, for example, in the tests here in Porto, were allowed to sail in the River Douro with much higher speeds than normal boats, because we wouldn't affect the other boats and we wouldn't affect the coastal area. And so this is what we are bringing to the market. And here is some footage that was taken here in front of Edifício Transparent, where we were sailing with waves up to 1 meter. And you can see from the footage that the chase boat is having a hard time keeping up with the boat, and the boat is not moving. So the passengers in the boat were not feeling the waves at all. And that's about it. I hope that late this summer, some of you will be able to test the industrial boat in Lisbon. Thank you.
Thanks, Ricardo. If you have any questions for him over there in Porto, just find him during the networking. Now, for the fourth and last pitch, please welcome here in Lisbon, David Faria, co-founder of Good Casting. David, the floor is yours.
Hey, so I didn't prepare a really good video like everyone else, but I have myself. So I have a question. Have you ever had a desire, a dream, a wish so big that everyone around you thought you were crazy? I think the answer is yes, or else you wouldn't be here at Startup Portugal, right? Well, for me, that moment happened. My first "you're crazy" moment was when I was 18, and I told my mom that I wanted to be an actor and that I was becoming a vegetarian. And for my Portuguese mom, she didn't know which one would be worse. I still think it was me telling her that I was becoming a vegetarian. Flash forward a few years later, working in Toronto as an actor and in castings, I've had another "you're crazy" moment when I decided to leave it all behind and move back to Portugal. And that's where I met Gabriel Cara, our co-founder, and we started talking a lot about casting as a process and realized that instead of looking at castings as a process, we needed to look at it as an infrastructure. And that infrastructure was really, really old. I mean, the whole process relied on hundreds of Excel sheets, phone calls, emails, SMS, WhatsApp. The only thing that was missing, I think, was the carrier pigeon. And that's when it hit us. We need to create something better. So we created Good Casting. Good Casting is Portugal's first and only casting app. We connect talents with clients. For talents, you create a profile, you get seen, your auditions are sent to you, tailored for your profile, all in one place. And for clients, you can find the talent you need, you can send out auditions, book, audition, get self-tapes, all in one place. Super easy. And we already have the traction. We have over 4,000 talents using the platform, over 500 clients. And this month, we actually celebrated 5 years as a company. So in this 5 years, we've launched over 15,000 auditions on our app. And we've done this all as a bootstrapped, self-funded company. So where are we going next? Our next markets will be Spain and Brazil, which is where we'll be launching this year. And our focus is growing on the European and the Latin American markets. We realize that talent is everywhere. Talent is something that everyone has. Most of the times, they just don't have the visibility and the place where they can show it. So that's where Good Casting comes in to solve that problem. So my question to you is, are you good? And if you're good, let's chat so that we can be good together.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Uh, Good app, good direction. Now, if you have some questions for him here in Porto, you go to the meatball. If you have in Lisbon, please chat with him afterwards. Now, let's make move to the first to the main panel discussion, and let's talk about how to make sim conf count. We are counting 3 already. It's the 3rd edition, and to help us on this here in Porto, let's welcome Nade, from co-founder and COO of iPlexMed. I think I told it properly. Yes. And as well, Miguel Albuquerque, executive director of Founders. I did not make a mistake on the name. This one. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi. How about in Lisbon, João?
So here in Lisboa, please welcome the principal at Mapa Next, Daniel Nascimento, and our moderator for today's discussion, the one and only, the powerhouse behind sim and content and programming, Patricia Roque. Come on.
No pressure at all. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you. So here we are, another year, another round. So SIM is approaching, and it's now the flagship moment where Portuguese ecosystem meets with investors and other enablers and startups from our ecosystem. We are organizing a lot of moments for SIM. So we're definitely looking for building a lot of conversations that are igniters for later matches. So the idea here in our content that we're building in the stages of SIM is to have really short conversations that we can take for after the talk, really. So the true fire happens after the conversation on stage, when people are mingling together over a glass of wine, over sim set at the end of the day, or in a one-on-one meeting. So what we want for you to happen during SIM conference is that people really have the opportunity to connect and engage in meaningful conversations together. So today we have a great panel to help us prepare for what's coming on SIM. This year, the topic for the conference is Living on the Frontier, because innovation today means creating in motion where rules shift and changes are constant. And so we have 3 great panelists: Nade, founder of iPlexMed; Daniel, investor at Mapa Next; and Miguel, who's leading a community of founders. I wanted to start with Nade. You're building a deep tech company in healthcare. What's the most disorienting thing about building right now, and what is the most exciting?
So, hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I'm looking forward to the SIM conference. We participated in all the 2, and we are going for the 3rd, definitely. So, indeed, as you mentioned, I'm a co-founder of iPlexMed, and we are developing a hardware and software solution, deep tech. So, at the moment, I would say that the most disorienting thing in our case is that we are using very novel sensors. There's no playbook, so it's very challenging, and that's one of the things that have kept our pace. But at the same time, is also what it's more exciting about it, because they are so sensitive that was exactly what drawn our attention to them, that we can definitely reshape the way that diagnostics are being made today. So our vision is to make diagnostic quick and accessible in the consultation, so that the clinician can, in a very precise and informed manner, treat the patient in the best way possible. Another thing that it's disorienting is that we also use AI, and we have no way of predicting how AI will evolve and how it will impact and reshape the healthcare system, how clinicians will look into it, how the healthcare system will procure, and where the competition will go. Again, that's also one of the things that can even potentiate our solution, because by bringing molecular diagnostics to the point of care, and integrating it with AI, we can have much more than just plain diagnostics. We can have epidemiological surveillance, we can have predicted models, and all of this towards a very precision, personalized care. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Nate. And Danielle, on the investment side, what kind of conviction is needed to invest now versus 3 years ago?
Thank you, and thank you to Startup Portugal for the invitation to be present here. Also looking forward to SIM. I think the conviction and what we've learned as company and the signals that we're collecting is it's increasingly important to separate a good company from a good investment. Okay, there are bad companies out there. Bad companies are always bad investments. But there are good companies out there, and some good companies may be a good investment, and some companies might not be such a good investment based on the ownership that you get, the price that you are getting in. And the discussions we're having more now, particularly in markets where we're seeing prices coming up, and is how good this company is at these terms and at these conditions. So we really need to make a very strong foundational case, what we call a sum up and next case. Do we believe that in a 6-7 year horizon we see this company returning 10x on our investment? So this is the conviction that this is the question that we are always asking, and the one that we always keep coming back to.
Okay, and is there something that really, like the speed of things, because it has changed a lot with AI in the last few years. So what do you think that could be some things that changed when looking for founders or projects that you think that may have changed when you're looking out for new projects to invest?
Yeah, so I mean, the speed that we are now seeing, it's mostly related to the introduction of AI in the processes of companies. So I'm not talking about AI companies. I mean, I think that the jargon is AI native companies. So companies that have AI embedded in their code, in their marketing, in their go-to-market processes. So this allows for companies to reach, I would say, faster with fewer resources. And I think this is the new level of expectation now, is that companies might be raising the same amount of money, they might be burning more money in tokens, but you are expected to reach a level of maturity higher than before with the same amount. So that's the expectation now.
Great. And Miguel, what are you seeing as the most interesting bets being placed right now in your community? And is there any confusion among founders regarding this speed now and the volatility and the hype around AI specifically?
Well, hello everybody. Hello Porto, and hello Lisbon. And thank you Startup Portugal for inviting me for this session. It's a pleasure to be here. So I manage an incubator in Porto called Founders, which we say most of the times that is a later stage incubator. And well, pretty much people know what they have to do from going from 0 to 1, like starting. They know they have to pitch. They know they have to go for funding. When they are growing from 1 to 10, whatever the scale is. So the problems are a bit different. And actually, most of the times I listen that people sometimes is a problem in a way that well, companies already got money, companies already got some products, but they don't find the right team, or the team is not growing as fast as they want, or they grow a lot faster than they want. So managing this kind of team actually is, I hear most of the times that is a problem. But I have to agree with Danielle as well that AI is a solution, but is also a problem. I felt most of the times a lot of founders like struggling because of the fear of missing out something. Like there's something happening on AI that I don't know, and I got a bit afraid of that. So a lot of founders have that FOMO of I don't know what AI is bringing. All of them, of course, are using AI a lot. not all of them has the right strategy to know where to go or where this movement will lead them. So they are navigating this wave.
Okay. And regarding also, I think it's important, of course, to find this balance between the hype and focusing on what we're doing in our startups or our projects. What have you seen any cases, or how do you see that these founders can find balance and dealing with this hype versus what I need to focus on? Is there anything that you do at Founders in the community, or that you've seen your founders do that helps balance this different proportions?
Well, a couple of them just went to play golf on the weekends, which apparently it's a good contrast to AI and technology stuff. So they do that. I think I think AI is not a hype anymore. So AI is here to stay. We are talking about AI for 3-4 years already, but it's not going to change. It's only getting worse or better, depend on the view that you want to put here. I think more and more people have to test the platforms and use it. But I think what I feel the most is that people do want to test it all, and this takes some time. And the teams and the companies are not ready to take this time only to test platforms. But when they test it, they actually realize that this is bringing something, this is adding some value. But this testing process, it's a pain. But you have to deal with it, and you have to navigate it, and you have to find people to do it for you, so you have the results and you have the output up there. But golf is a good solution.
Okay, I see the human side of it. Nate, can you share with us what are maybe the biggest trade-offs in your case at IplexMed?
Yeah, so we are developing a portable platform that delivers the lab-grade detection of up to 30 bacteria and virus and a drug resistance profile in just 20 minutes. So this can really reshape how the clinician treats the patient. So for us, of course, ethics is very important. We want speed, but we cannot compromise on a tool that will shape how that person is taken care of. So there are, of course, corners that we cannot cut. I would say that developing a hardware and a software solution is, of course, lengthy, and the road to the market is long. So I would say our biggest trade-off is around our vision and the runaway, because we need investment to get the clinical evidence and to push our solution to the market. And of course, on the other side, investors want to de-risk their investments, so they always look for a higher or a more robust data. But without funds, we cannot really get the data. So that's something that's always been present and a constant struggle. And we've been trying to surpass it by getting, of course, more non-dilutive funding, and we've been successful in that case. But I would say yes, that's like our biggest current trade-off. And of course, speed. We are always pushing through, because we want to be the first to get to the market. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Danielle, do you also see this in the founders you work with? And regarding how do you see the founders balance these trade-offs, and how can you identify the ones that really take on this balance thing wisely?
I think it's never easy. I think the best ones are the ones that embrace the problem and try to, sounds a little bit like a cliche, but try to strategize around it and how to evolve with it, and not make a big deal out of it. We're hearing now that we see founders having a lot of FOMO around AI. I think what you effectively need to do is to have, I think what we're asking our companies to do, just to give a practical example, is to ask them to have an AI strategy. You don't need to have everything implemented today, but you need to have a line of sight of, in 12 or 18 months, how you want your company to work and what kind of process do Do you want to have them on top of AI? What kind of processes do you want to have just on top of human beings? I think one very good thing is that, going back, the pace of development is so high that you already have several playbooks on how to do it, how to use AI for coding, how to use AI for code testing, how to use AI agents for go-to-market. So those playbooks are already around. You need to understand what's the playbook that better fits your company, if it's B2B, if it's B2C, if it's in Portugal or in Germany, and you adapt that playbook so that it serves your interests. But it's mostly around strategizing and trying to be better in 12 months than what you are today. I think that's what every investor is asking from the companies. Just, you have a problem, just deal with it, and deal with it in a reasonable time frame.
Okay, another topic we're going to explore at SIM conference is how you grow resilience, both in the ecosystem, but also regarding specific cases as a founder or as an investor. What defines for you a resilient company nowadays, and how do you see these resilient founders today?
I'll go back to my previous answer about strategizing. I mean, resilience is the ability to embrace difficulty and manage and live through it. I mean, I've been in VC in 9 years. We had COVID, we had SoftBank, we had the Ukraine war, now Iran. Look, every year there's something coming up, and that's affecting how companies are working. We have AI in late 2024. So every year there's going to be a new big problem to solve. Okay? So the way, again, embrace it, strategize, and try to understand what others are doing to solve it. And I think perhaps to give an answer to you, like what we see the best founders doing is just pretty much talk to other founders, talk to other people, don't close yourself in your little cocoon, and really try to learn with others. You are the founder of a company, you are not a person that is supposed to know it all, but particularly if you've raised money from investors, you are expected to put that money into good use, and sometimes the best way to put that money to good use is to hire talent that knows how to solve certain problems. So I would say, like, I'm going to say something obvious again, like most problems in the life of startup can be solved with money or talent. But if you can have a lot of money, if you don't have the talent behind it to help you solve, I mean, you're not going anywhere.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And Miguel, do you have any failure stories or things that you think, common mistakes that you think the founders make regarding resilience?
Well, I think founders were born resilient in the first place. So they are used to fight for it. So they are used not to have anything given. So they have to fight for the idea, fight for money, fight for the project, fight for the team. So I think it's a bit of a personality characteristics from them, for sure. But I definitely agree with Danielle in the way that having peers and having people like a trust circle that you can talk and trust. So fun fact, Founders was actually born with that idea in mind. So from founder to founder is like the motto of us. So actually those companies that started Founders in the beginning, they really they were completely different from each other. It was 5 companies at the time. And what they want was to be close from each other. So they find a place and they found a room so they can fit all the companies there. But they were like completely different businesses, but they wanted to go with each other. So this idea of having like a support team, a support peers, a trust bubble, whatever we want it to call it, I think it's definitely important. And maybe not only on the founders level, but maybe also as well on the leadership level as well. At some point, it's not the founder anymore. It's not like founder led everything. At some moment in time, you have like different teams, more people. So trust people, and this idea of trust and giving like responsibility and push people forward. I think it helps a lot and takes, from my perspective, some weight from the founders' shoulders for sure.
Nate, do you feel this? What are your strategies? Can you share?
Yeah, sure. So I definitely agree with Miguel and Danielle. In our case, resilience is also very embedded in our DNA. Before we being entrepreneurs, we were all academic researchers, so we are very used to failing, dealing with negative results, and fighting to find and to push through to break the state of the art. So we kind of adapted and created a way of dealing with it and keep pushing forward and coming up with other solutions and ways of solving this problem. So that's definitely been a help in our case. We are 4 co-founders, all PhDs, and undoubtedly being in a community, we have a very strong support from the beginning from Startup Braga, and we have always had the opportunity to interact with other founders and different mentors that definitely help us push and pull through, particularly in the hardest times, because we all face hurdles and we just have to keep pushing. Yeah.
Great. So I wanted to go to maybe the last part of our conversation, and this is just to connect this with the SIM conference and what we're going to do there. Also, I wanted to ask all the people here if you have any questions to prepare them. So this is my last round of questions. Nate, what do you think? You were talking about community. What do you think is the biggest advantage a founder can extract from a conference like SIM that maybe a Zoom call or LinkedIn intro don't make it for you?
Yeah, I think you picture it very well. The talks are igniters, right? So, and we are of course all familiar with Zooms and Teams, and they work. You can start a conversation, you can develop business and engage, but we are all very social. We are human beings. We are social, so we need physical interaction. You need to see the other person, feel their warmth, and build that trust. So I think SIM has been very successful in a way that it can put together in the same place people that get it, and it's not a huge size, so you really can take the time to have meaningful and real conversations and ignite your connections from there. So I think that would be my advice for people, really to scout the people they want to talk to and really approach them and ask your questions. People genuinely want to help, so they just need to know what you need. Yeah.
Okay, Danielle, from an investor perspective, what's relevant for you when you go to a conference like SIM?
Yeah, I'd say it should not be very different from a startup, but perhaps using Meatball's founder perspective, it's about intentionality. So you need to be intentional. We all have a ton of stuff to do. So if we're dedicating 1 or 2 days to be at the conference, we need to be intentional and understand what we want to get out of it. A set number of meetings with other investors, or in our case, it might be with the co-investors or with companies. So we do have KPIs when we attend these events, and then we measure how relevant how did we succeed vis-a-vis the KPIs, but also make the most of being in person and having those connections in person. Even if you've met that same person 6 months or 12 months ago, people remember faces and they remember one-on-one interactions, and what you are able to transmit in a one-to-one in-person interaction is much stronger than online. So just be intentional about those moments and what you are able to do with them.
Okay, and for you, Miguel, at Founders, what do you feel you get the most from events like this?
Well, this kind of event is super amazing, obviously, but also super energy consumption. So you are going to be drained out of energy out of these days if you prepare it properly. Maybe I will add this layer, which is to be prepared and be open for some, serendipity. So prepare the most, know exactly what you're going to do there. But once you are there, just be open to whatever might happen there. I think, some things actually happens by chance, and you have to be open to that. And maybe another note, a practical note on AI, if you want to take that note, just go for the AI, just go for the Claude and say, okay, I am this company, I am this founder, I am this person, I'm going to this conference. Tell me who is on my network is going to this network, to this conference. Like, bring me some connections and use AI in your favor. So do that. For sure, you will gain a lot of time. Trust me, go for the Claude. It's magical. The experience it's going to be hugely different for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. So regarding this serendipity thing, we do have a lot of matchmaking activities during SIM. So there's wine tastings. There will be a boat ride for founders and investors. There will be guided showcase tours for the startups that are going to be at the showcase. So if you want to know better which startups are there and connect directly with the founders, you can do that. So there's a lot of moments that I think enable this serendipity idea, and so I advise everyone to take the most out of them. And yeah, so now I'd like to open for questions. So does anyone? Okay, here we have a question here.
Hi, hello. First of all, I'd like to make an invitation to all the community builders that are attending SIM conference on Friday at 3 p.m. at Sala das Bibliotecas. We'll have a little gathering, so you're all welcome. Second, this is for you, Danielle, because you're working on a Series A fund. How, like, for example, are you familiar with the Allbirds situation? A company that moved from sustainable shoes to pivoting to AI, like, has it happened to your portfolio, or how, if not, how would you deal with it?
I think that's like I don't think you can draw a conclusion out of it other than someone is buying to the hype. I mean, just because the level of skills and competences that you need to do to be in the textile apparel business and then shift into AI. I don't even know what AI means for them. I'm not sure if they're building servers or foundational models. I have no idea. But just to change the narrative, and then you have that bump in stock price. There's nothing I can take out of it that I can use as an example for anyone to say just do the same. It's not strategy. It's an event. It's a data point in time that everyone laughs about it, and you cannot extract anything out of it. In my personal perspective.
How would you deal with it if you had someone? How would you deal with it? You have someone in your portfolio like, hey, Danielle, we have a new idea.
Look, I think you should rethink that idea. I honestly think you should rethink that idea. Bear in mind that look at Series A, you are supposed to have companies that have found that are approaching product market fit, that are on track, I would say, or that are I would say they have a plan. Okay. Look, if sometimes plans don't work, and like most times plans don't work, in fact, but you try to understand what you are good at and pivot or change a bit your strategy in the things that are your particular strength. You don't go from. I think what you effectively they are doing is building a very different company based on a narrative. So there's nothing I can extract out of it. I don't have a competence to extract something out of it.
So, any questions in Porto? I see a very focused audience. I'm looking at you.
Don't be shy.
Patricia, can I add something on the question on Lisbon?
Yes, of
and
course.
regarding the thing that you introduced before, just to say that from going from a shoe company to an AI company, it's not so on an entrepreneurship level, it's not a fail, it's a pivot. But it was a fail. So they fail on the shoe company and they build another thing. But you don't fail, you pivot. It's the jargon of entrepreneurship. Just adding this, yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's another question here.
Hi, Pedro Rebordão from Lisbon, to Nate at Porto. I really listened to your words really with a lot of caution, because you said as a researcher you are really used to fail. So my question to you, Naid, is how do you pivot from a researcher to an entrepreneur, and there are not more researchers doing the same? Because you are, it's about failure and learning, so what kind of skill sets do you have to do it like you are doing? Okay.
I'm not sure if I understood the question right. I remember you from Web Summit very well. You mean what type of skills allowed me to shift from being a researcher to an entrepreneur?
To take that step, from university to a business. Why? How do you do it? Why? Or why?
Yeah. I guess
Thank you.
the paradigm is also changing a lot nowadays. Like when I started, when I did my degree, like the most obvious way was to doing a master or a PhD, and then you stay in academia and you do your postdocs, and there were not many opportunities. So that was the standard path. In this way, I mean, I've been in labs in Europe. I did a postdoc in New York. I came back to Lisbon. I came back to Braga. And then I always felt the need that, although I love doing fundamental research, I wanted to do something that really had a more obvious impact. Let's say that I didn't need to wait 30 years till I see the impact of my research. So in this sense, I kind of position myself in a way to be exposed to this type of opportunities. And in fact, iPlexMed has a very interesting story because our inception was a serendipity. We participated in an hackathon. We went there with our own personal goals, and we took papers from a random bag, and we were in a team, and our team had a winning idea, and we start working from there. So what was something more like easygoing and fun became something really important, and ended up changing and shifting our career from academia to business. So I would say being open, being out there, exposing yourself to different types of situations, and catching the train when it stops. Yeah.
Okay, great. So anyone in Porto for questions? Oh.
Maybe I would have a comment regarding the same subject, being a CTO and a co-founder of several companies. One of the things that I have felt is that there is sometimes, let's say, a mismatch between investors and the people developing the company, because investors want no problems, want that everything is solved. And the people that are developing the product understand that, okay, we are seeing this problem, and this is the result of all the other problems that are already solved and that are creating our technical moat. And so seeing this small problem here means that we already have a huge moat behind us. And sometimes there is that mismatch that investors don't like to see problems at all, and that sometimes is the sign that things are actually evolving faster and better than if there were no problems. So I don't know what's your experience with that.
Well, maybe I can jump in first.
Yeah.
Can I? Sorry.
Yes, sure. Go, Miguel.
Oh, sorry. Well, I don't think actually founders do like problems as well. I think they face it differently, but and I'm not super sure that investors do not like problems. Like problems meaning that the ball is rolling, so you have problems because you are moving to some place, you are trying some things, you are going for a new market, you are, I don't know, so you are moving yourself. So I'm not sure, and well, Danielle can say something about an investor perspective, but problems is like part of life, right? It's not the way that you see the problems, is the way that you try to find a solution for it. So I think it's bad for all, but good in a way that everything is moving. I don't know, Michael, but maybe Nate has a different opinion on this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, no one really generally likes to deal with problems, right? But problems happen, and you just have to keep pushing. And of course, it means that the ball is rolling. If there's no problems, there's also no interest in what you are developing. I guess, like if it's easygoing, then probably it's not a very good value proposition that you're developing. Investors, I think there are the different types of investors as well. Maybe Danielle can elaborate more on that. Yeah, but I understand what he was trying to say is that sometimes science just brings other problems because you're just fixing something and then you discover something else and then there's another problem to solve. Yeah.
Danielle, do you want to dive on this?
Yeah, perhaps in short, look, a founder is essentially the manager of a business, and managers they have problems to solve. They have the small day-to-day problems of which office should I rent, which person should I hire, which person should I fire. Those are day-to-day problems that they should be addressed, regardless of where you are in a small company or a big company. If you are a founder of a startup that is growing at a very accelerated pace, then that's where the big problems come up. Like, how do you raise your next round? Which geography is going to be your next one? And you don't have, I mean, you'll try to, you don't have all the data that you need to answer to that question. So you try to answer them based on the assumptions, the best data you have. Oftentimes you'll be wrong, you need to iterate and you need to continue working the problem. Success is not linear, so I mean, you just have to live with the problems and come up with a system of continuously solving and knowing that there's always going to be more problems. And it's very common to hear founders saying, I just need to raise the seed round, I just need to raise the Series A round, then everything will be fine. It's not. You're going to have more problems. No. You're going to have more people in your team, you're going to have more clients. I mean, your surface of problems is just going to increase as the company increases. So you always have more problems. You just need to have a leadership team with you that helps you solve those problems. That's it. Problems are part of life. Otherwise, you, like Nate was saying, you're not building something of value if you're not solving big enough problems.
So just to add on that, what do you think is your role, like as an investor, regarding like these bumps in the road that founders can find? What do you think is your role in that journey?
So I would say that founders are always the best people to answer those problems. My job as an investor is to come up with not with a solution, but with a tool that can help the founder solve that problem. If he wants to fundraise, I can make 10 introductions to VCs. If he wants to enter the Spanish market, I can make an introduction to 1 or 2 companies that have entered the Spanish market. If he wants to hire a new CTO, my job is to help him get in contact with 2 headhunting firms that are expert in CTOs. If he wants to strategize around pricing, my job is to tell him, look, talk with this person has done a job with pricing, and he will help you do that. It's impossible for me to have a solution for all the problems a company has, but by approximation, I can help founders give them hints on how to solve them. But truth be told, sometimes I have absolutely no solution to offer because it's a problem that even myself, I have not seen in other portfolio companies or in other people that I've talked to. So it's just a matter of solving them with the best data points you have and keep iterating it until you get it right. And just empower founders to take sometimes a leap of faith and just own the error if there's an error, but just keep iterating until you get it right.
Thank you. I don't know if there's any more questions in Porto or Lisboa. Okay, I think everyone's looking forward to the networking part. So I want to thank our panelists today. Thank you so much for helping us navigate what will be the main topics for SIM conference this year. and to give us your suggestions to make the most out of it. And I'll pass on to João. Should I leave?
Thank
No?
you,
Okay.
Patricia.
Yeah?
Yeah, thank you, Patricia. Thank you, all the panelists. It was a great, great conversation. Just to fill the room over here and over there in Lisbon, who already has a ticket for Sim Conference?
Come on, who has a ticket for Sim Conference? I do. Why other people don't have tickets, I don't understand.
Yeah, for the ones who don't have tickets, don't forget to get your tickets. They are, as mentioned by Zé Maria, they are going to increase in price, and opportunities are like no problems are good for opportunities. So that's a good problem to have. And get ready to get your fingers warm to play on our gaming stations, both here in Porto and in Lisbon, with some cool games to play. And João, who do we have to thank for the support?
So I ask you to applaud our amazing partners who make these Hangouts possible. Porto City Council, come on. That's it. Investors Portugal, 351 Portuguese Startup Community, Ferroviário, Workin, UPTech, Sograp, and Superboc Group. It was a pleasure to be your co-host, Ivanuel. It was a pleasure to be your host this evening. And let's go for a drink or two over the networking. Enjoy your evening.
Enjoy.